If you want to scale your e-commerce brand to 6 or 7-figure months, then you need to learn the most important skill of all, which is creating winning ads on repeat. Because once you learn this skill, you can take any product in the world and turn it into a winner. And on the inverse, you could have the best product that is miles better than all the alternatives on the market. And if you don't know how to market it, you're not gonna make a penny back from your ads. So I'm gonna give you the full A to Z on how to create winning ads from scratch for any product you wanna sell. And this is coming from an ad agency owner that has made ads for hundreds of different e-commerce brands in every single niche you can think of. So the value bombs in this video are gonna be so large, they're gonna be bigger than anything you ever saw in Hiroshima. So you should get on some douchebag shades or some safety goggles because the value that's about to drop may blind you after watching. So let's get into it. So first things first, bro chacho, you need to understand how TikTok, Facebook, or any of these social media ad platforms you're going to advertise on actually work. Now with the two big dogs, TikTok and Facebook, what their business model actually is retention of attention for monetization, which basically means they make money by showing you ads. So the longer you stay on their app, the more ads they can show you. And they only want to show the best ads that users are genuinely engaging with and having good experiences with, because if they like those ads, they're going to keep using the app. However, if I get bad ads constantly on my feed, that's going to make me want to go to another app, which is completely against their business model. So they don't want to show ads which users don't enjoy watching or don't enjoy engaging with, or when they go off the website to yours, if they're not buying or they're not having a good experience with your product, then they don't want to have that happen. Because if Facebook knows if you bought a product from a Facebook ad and you didn't enjoy it, you are way less likely to buy again. So they only want to show ads from real businesses that have good user experiences and create ads that are genuinely engaging and entertaining. So the first thing you have to keep in mind before you make any ad is do not make it boring. When someone sees this in their feed, they need to be engaged. They need to be hooked. If you have a boring hook or a boring ad idea that doesn't make people want to watch the full video, they're going to keep scrolling. You're going to have lower clicks, and Facebook and TikTok are going to charge you more to show your bad ad. So don't make boring ads. You have to have this balance of making your ad entertaining, but also educational and selling why they should use your product, because you can't just make ads that are solely meant to go viral, because you could just set a product on fire and that might get 1 million views, but no one's going to buy your product. So you have to align this balance of, okay, how do I come up with an interesting concept for the product I want to sell? And a lot of times that's going to come from looking up your product on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, and just seeing what videos did people make with my product that already went viral organically, and then look at the comments to see, are there people commenting saying, oh my God, I really want that, I want to purchase that? Are there purchase intent comments? Because there will be some videos that are viral that nobody is interested in buying, and then there's some where you will notice, okay, there's a lot of people, like in this ad, hey, this is so pretty, this is so cool, where do I buy it? What's the actual link to buy? This would be a video that I would want to model or rip when I'm testing this product, because we see positive purchase intent comments compared to with another video which might have gone viral with this lamp, but no one's interested in actually buying. It was just meant to go viral. So yes, to maximize your chances of success when you're testing a product, you should already look for winning and validated ad ideas, visuals, or hooks that have already been proven on the organic marketplace. Because the algorithm for IG Reels, TikTok, it's all the same for those organic videos as it is for ad videos. They operate in the exact same manner. Meaning when you post an organic video, it will be shown to a small subset of people in your target demographic. And if they are largely interacting and they're commenting and engaging, then TikTok is going to want to push it to more and more users, because those initial people had a positive user experience. So when you're creating your ads, you can look for validated ideas that have already been proven to work, and then just recreate those, compared to trying to make your own video idea, which is unproven and we don't know if it's going to work. So again, that just increases your odds dramatically if you just already model what's working. It's the same concept behind when I test a product. I can test a product that's completely unproven and we don't know if it's going to work, or I can test a product that already has 50,000 sales and we know it's on the uptrend. So I'd rather go the validated route. Now, I would say the brand that's killing it the most and is a great brand to get ad inspiration from, because you shouldn't necessarily just get all your inspiration from only ads for your specific product, because there is definitely winning ad concepts that work for other products that you could apply to your product, because it's still a winning concept. It's still a winning hook. So High Smile is right now the best brand on TikTok. They have so many winning ads with millions and millions and millions of impressions. So let's just check out a few and see what did they do right.
This is 117 times faster than your boring whitening toothpaste. Here's why.
Boom. Great hook. I mean, immediately they're calling out a specific number, and that makes you curious. So with your hook, one of the strongest things you can do to make people want to watch the entire video and interact positively is have a hook that creates curiosity and makes people ask a question in their head. So if I say, yeah, this is 117 times more powerful than the average toothpaste, I'm going to say, how is it even possible? What's inside of this? Is that even good for me? Therefore, it creates that curiosity loop in my head, and it makes me want to watch the rest of the ad, which is incredibly smart. The visuals and the captions, the editing also are the cream on top of this, but the core concept is you have to have an interesting idea, otherwise people aren't going to watch. So when we look at this hook, I mean, this hook is an incredible visual. I mean, it just gets your attention. When you're scrolling on your feed, if you saw this, you're gonna be like, okay, what the hell is going on here? There's a reason why obviously this has 95 million impressions.
Biggest mistake people make.
And when we look at that hook, the biggest mistake people make. Now, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this hook, but obviously this is for a very broad set of people. So anyone's going to look at that and be like, okay, yeah, what is the biggest mistake I'm making? I want to know. And obviously because it's a teeth visual, you can kind of infer what it's going to be about. I personally, though, like to have hooks that are a bit more specific. So if I'm selling a fitness product, I might call out my target audience, which could be athletes or it could be single guys. I usually like to call out my target audience a bit more or mention a specific benefit or question that's related to my industry. But let's just watch the rest of the ad real quick and see why this worked so well.
And so many people think that yellow teeth are purely genetic, but the fact is...
So obviously we can read the captions here, but look at the visuals. There is a new visual every 1.5 to 2 seconds. So they are keeping people's attention. They have a really interesting concept here because they're saying, you know, there's a big misconception that people think yellow teeth are purely genetic. So they are misproving a common concept, and that makes you want to keep watching. And again, also visuals are just so freaking good. So again, this is something you definitely want to model when you're making video ads for your product. Have engaging visuals, have engaging hooks, and there's multiple ways to do this. You don't have to have tons of cutaways all the time. In fact, there is definitely the more organic, less polished editing style that I'm also a huge fan of. So if we look at the top performing video for the sunset lamp, I mean, there's a few things immediately I see. The hook, super engaging. I mean, look at this dramatic reaction. It looks like she just watched her parents get murdered, but she's just looking at a sunset lamp. But again, that's going to hook people's attention. And then we just have product demo shots, great visuals. And this is my favorite type of ad, honestly, because I'm not a big fan of selling a lot in ads. I like to basically show people why they need the product. So for instance, if I'm going to say this is going to transform your room, I can obviously say that line, or I can just show them what it looks like. So showing the transformation is way more powerful than actually saying any words. So I really like that. Then we got this ad right here. So this looks like it's a comparison. It's an us versus them style ad. So LED lights, bad. Our sunset lamp, good. And this is why. This is why it's so much better. I'm going to show you why it's better through these amazing demonstrations and visuals. I mean, this is really good. You're selling without having to sell. And that is kind of how you're supposed to be doing your ads. You're trying to not be super ad-like. Now hold your horses for a second here, cowboy, because before you start testing a product with all of these proven ad ideas and concepts, you also need to keep in mind that those concepts could flop for you because they worked in the past and no longer work today. They are saturated ad angles, and that does happen. So there is no such thing as a saturated product, but sometimes you have to come at it from a new angle that's never been explored before, or market it to a new audience or demographic or location that hasn't seen this product before at all. So I would recommend having a mix. So see if the proven ad ideas and concepts that worked in the past still work today, or does it work better when you try out your own unique angles and hooks? And the way you come up with these unique angles is you first have a deep understanding of what is your target audience's goals with your product, what transformation do they want from your product, and what are their pain points with other products in the market. And then you can come up with a unique and interesting ad angle and hook that captivates your target audience's attention. So we're always going from the angle of what is going to create the most curiosity. So for me, I like to think of my ads like YouTube videos. What is going to get people to watch and also be educated on why my product is the best fit for them. So now, keeping that all in mind, imagine you were selling a perfume product and you were trying to make a winning ad. With all these things in mind, that you have to make the ad entertaining and educational. You have to have an ad angle and hook that are captivating, that create curiosity in the mind of your consumer. And you can do this by setting up a cliffhanger or having a premise to your video that's set up. So if you watch this whole video, this is what you can expect, or make them ask a question in their mind like why, how, or what's going to happen next. So keeping all those in mind, how would you create a winning ad for a perfume product? So let's look at the difference between this big brand and the ad that I created for a pheromone perfume product.
Added my first official skin scent to my collection. It literally took me long enough.
Jesus Christ, that makes me want to bleach my eyeballs out. Ugh, I'm gonna be sick. And this ad is 2 minutes long. Oh my God, no one is completing this ad. The only people watching this entire ad is most likely prisoners of war stuck in Guantanamo Bay, and they use this as a torture method. Now, let's compare that horrible video that's not entertaining and it doesn't make you ask any questions in your head. It's just a blanket statement as the hook. Like, I added a perfume to my collection. Why would I care? Why would I be interested in watching more? You don't even really show the product. You show a box too. So the visual isn't interesting. The premise isn't interesting. Again, just completely falls flat. And let's compare that to my ad right here, which is 7 seconds long. And the concept, the premise is already established. Testing this to see how it works on my single friend for a night out. Well, if I'm someone who's in the target audience, I'm immediately interested in finding out what's going to happen next. That is the immediate question that's going to make me want to watch the rest of the video. The visual is interesting. You're seeing a close-up here. You're seeing an attractive young lady. So let's just go into it real quick. Visuals changing real quick. You see a beautiful woman, which is honestly a hack when it comes to organic videos. And then instead of saying, hey, you're going to get your next dream guy, or you're going to be able to pull more guys, instead of saying you're going to get this benefit, I show them. And that is the big difference, ladies and gentlemen. People don't want to be sold to. They want to come to their own conclusions. If I show them undeniable proof that this product can get you this benefit, you're going to come to the conclusion that it's going to work for you too. Now, I'm going to give you a bunch of frameworks later on in this video that you can use to create entertaining video ideas. But the final thing you have to understand with hooks is that obviously, yes, you can set up a premise, or you can have a cliffhanger that makes people interested, or you can be specific with the language of your hook. So the actual text can make a difference too. So if you say, for instance, and you use these typical documents with all these placeholders like, oh, I wish I knew this earlier, so this just happened at my local mall. I mean, these are really generic hooks. No one is going to be interested. So if I'm selling, let's say, a perfume for guys to pull girls, so if we're doing the opposite here, what hook is going to be stronger? Well, I wish I knew this earlier, or here's something I realized in my age. Or if I say, if you're a single guy and you're trying to pull those 10 out of 10s before school starts, then you need to try out this one hack. Immediately, it's so specific. If I'm someone, and I've been that guy that watches the how to be alpha videos and try to how to riz videos, immediately I'm going to watch the entire video and be like, okay, what is it? What can I do to get my desired result? And then you already have hooked people in. They're going to want to watch the rest of the video. And that's where you explain, oh, well, the key to pulling girls is actually smelling really good. Therefore, that's going to make me ask the question as the viewer of, okay, well then what is the best perfume brands? What is going to make me smell the best? And then boom, you plug your product, you got them, and they're going to buy every single day of the week. So this right here is all you have to think about when it comes to hooks. You either mention the viewer before state, their end dream state, time frame, a pain point, or pain point subtraction. So again, if we're going to go with that same example of the perfume for guys, maybe I say, if you're a single guy right now, which is their current state, it's their before state, and you want to get your dream girl, which is the viewer end state, and then maybe I mentioned a time frame. So if you're a single guy that wants to pull your dream girl in the next 30 days, then you need to try out this perfume, or you need to try out this hack, or you need to try out this secret that worked for me. Again, you kind of want to tease them a little bit about what they can expect from watching the full video. That's how you set up a premise. Or I could do the pain point. So if you're someone who struggles with talking to girls, or if you're someone who struggles to even talk to your crush, then this is something you can do instantly to gain more confidence. Or this is why girls don't find you attractive whenever you talk to them. Immediately, that hook alone, that's just mentioning the pain point. It's not mentioning anything else, but that could definitely be the hook that works the best. You have to split test the different messaging, the different states, the different time frames, pain points, all these different variables is what gets people hooked to be interested in your product. Now, as we established earlier, you should be testing products with a variety of different ad angles, some that are proven and some that are newer based on your research that you think will perform better than the originals. And when you do this, I do recommend having at least 10 to 15 video or image ads that you are trying out, because 90% of ads on paid media are going to fail. So you should not have your ego tied to, oh my gosh, I only have one winning ad when I tested 15. That is the usual numbers. The most successful and experienced people in this space still only have about a 10 to 15% hit rate on their ads. So that is why you have to try so many different concepts, hooks, ideas out, because you really never know what's going to work. And usually the thing you think is going to work the best usually performs the worst. And then that ad that you think is ugly, that you don't even want to test, ends up being the best performer. It happens so freaking often. So for me personally, when I test a product, I usually like to have between 12 to 15 ads. So that way I can do groups of 3 where each ad group that I test has 3 videos. So I'll have 4 ad groups, and each one sees a different set of 3 videos, and that's a total of 12 videos, or vice versa for when I'm testing images. So I would say a good balance is around 50-50 when it comes to ripped content versus making your own content. Now, when it comes to doing ripped content, yes, this can definitely work. I have multiple mentors who only scale with ripped content and do 10 grand days. So you can go on the internet and then again, look for videos that are proven, which means the algorithm has proven that they like them because they rewarded them with a lot of views. And then look at the comments so you know there's purchase intent there. So let's say this video is something we want to test in our ads. Well, we would copy this, we would go into SnapTick, and then we would easily be able to download the video just like that. But however, if you tested this right now as an ad, it will be picked up by the algorithm of TikTok or Facebook that, oh, this is being ripped. So you need to refresh the metadata, and there's a lot of different things you can do to do that. You can chop off 0.1 or 0.2 seconds at the beginning of the video. You could speed it up a little bit. You could change a frame out. In fact, there's tools that honestly just automatically refresh it. So just make sure if you are going to go the ripped route, remove the metadata first. So now let's give a little loving to our non-problem solving product owners. So if you're selling clothing, jewelry, home decor, all those products that are easily explainable and easily can be sold via image ads, here is some inspiration for you guys as well. So for winning ads, typically the best thing you should do is the product centered photo, which is where you just have the product in front of a white background. So that is the only focus that people could possibly put their attention on. These work really well. Now you can also do carousels where you have different images or different variants. So if you have a design that has multiple colors, then you might do a carousel ad that shows all the different colors, but they have the same sort of setup where it might be all white background and that's the carousel. Or you might have a mix where some of the photos are more lifestyle, which means someone's actually wearing it. You have a model who's out and about, who's in an environment that represents your brand. So if you have a luxury brand, then obviously probably should have some country club, boats in Italy type of photo shoots. Or if you're just selling kind of generic t-shirts and stuff like that, then honestly, it doesn't really matter too much about the background. But you want to make sure that you have a mix. It's the same process where you don't know what's going to work the best. It could be white background, it could be model shoots, it could be doing carousel ads, or it could be stitching some of your photos together in a GIF-like video and using that as well. So Rockstar Original, I absolutely love them. Look at how simple this is. This is their top performing ad for the last couple of years, and it is literally just bam, 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 bam on their best performers, on their top selling hoodies. So if you have multiple photos of a specific design that you want to test, you could easily replicate this and see, okay, what's working the best? Videos? Is it images? Is it carousels? You never know. And the final thing I would keep note when you're doing image ads is there has to be contrast from the background. There has to be color contrast. Your product has to be the main focus and stand out from the background. You don't want any distractions going on. So I would say this is decent. The color doesn't pop too much. And you also have to keep in mind, people are going to be seeing this on their Instagram feed. They're going to be scrolling. So it has to really pop at them. It has to catch their attention. So if I'm looking at this specific design, honestly, the colors are kind of dull to me. So I would have definitely upped the contrast a bit more just so it stands out and people really are like, wow, that is a really cool design. Now this one I would say is much better. I like the overall aesthetic going on here with having a full outfit so you can imagine what it would look like. And then again, I would love to have shots of a model actually wearing this fit too, so we can just compare and see what are people gravitating towards more, what is making them click more and be interested in that product. But you also have to keep in mind when you're doing stuff like that, you don't know, okay, what's the main focus here? What are they actually selling? Because is it the jeans? Is it the hat? We don't know when there's multiple products on the screen. And that's why it's so important when you're selling clothing, home decor, whatever, try to gather the best images possible from the internet. Because if you're just relying on the images that your supplier provides, they may work, but there is a much higher chance that they're not because these suppliers are not photographers. So I would always gather images from Amazon, Temu, Alibaba, AliExpress, just wherever different people are going to sell your product. Go there, Etsy too maybe, and just gather those images because you'll see that, oh my gosh, there's so many great ones out there. Now, I know you see this outline on the white background. I just want to kind of show you guys real quick what I would do to obviously make a product stand out. So we can see here, our jacket is pretty well lit. I would say it does stand out a bit. But again, just the one thing you can do is just always add a bit more contrast just so that things pop a bit more. It's just more engaging in the feed. So let me actually take off my shades because it's just making it so much harder for me to actually see the colors. So let's just increase saturation a bit more. And yes, I love that contrast of the brown wooden floor versus the red jacket. That's looking really nice. Let's see with contrast where it kind of balances out because I don't want the color to change because we don't want to mislead people. But yeah, just a little bit of contrast, a little bit there. You can play around with brightness, kind of see what is working the best. And I would say just a little bit just a little bit of brightness there. And this is where you got to play around. And there's also other little things you can do, like, okay, we could remove the background and we could try doing our own AI generated background instead to see, okay, can we come up with a better, more engaging image? So right here we have our jacket. It's looking really nice with this white background and shirt underneath. And this definitely might perform really well as an ad. I wouldn't really change much, but we could always give ourselves more options and just see what's working by. So inside of Photoshop, I have the object selection tool going on, and we are just going to select our subject on this nice little white background image. And honestly, I would test this to see what's going to work. Now we have to definitely inverse the selection, and then we're going to do a generative fill. So if we have a background idea in mind, maybe it's just doing a cool gradient background. Maybe it's having some sort of lifestyle. So before I would start doing AI backgrounds, I would get some inspiration by looking up your product online and kind of seeing what are the typical backgrounds you see for images. So we have gray backgrounds. We have, okay, we're in kind of a farm-esque cornfield going on here. We have more shots in public on the streets. So that can give us an idea for inspiration, because honestly, that's going to be the only thing that limits us when we're doing Photoshop beta. So if you go to the object selection tool, select your subject on this nice little white background image, which I would definitely test. I mean, we never know if it's going to work the best. Then you inverse your selection, and that's where you do the generative fill. So maybe I want to do kind of a on the streets-esque background. So let's do city. We'll just do city streets. And while that's loading, obviously we could do other things like doing a gradient background and seeing how that looks. We could do more of a cloud-esque background, because a lot of brands like to just Photoshop backgrounds like that. Now here we go. Look at this. So we got a little street behind. It's kind of a gray New York-y-esque vibe to it. And obviously we'd add some contrast. So let's say we just choose this one right here. Then we would most likely add, again, some contrast. So we can go to our image, adjustments, and then we can do some brightness, contrast. Let's just see how this all works together. So we'll do that. So let's play around with the levels first, because that usually can tell you kind of what brightness you should do. So we can play around here, just see. I kind of like when it's a little bit brighter. Yeah, so we'll just do a bit more brighter. And you can play around adjustments, all these different things. There are plenty of really good Photoshop courses that I would recommend on like Udemy. So that way you can play around, make sure things stand out a bit more. But this, again, just adds a whole new dimension to the amount of image ads we can test. And if you want to do further customizations, like only editing the jacket or background in this case, so that it doesn't stand out as much, what I could do is I could definitely drag the layer specifically of our product up a bit more, and we could see instantly, yep, that's going to change the design of the jacket. And then we can isolate our changes to where it only impacts our specific background or the product itself, so we can just add some more contrast and make things stand out. Now, if using Photoshop is too hard for you, then I have another tool you babies can use called Photo Room. And this is really awesome because it removes backgrounds instantly, and you can do a lot of cool AI images automatically. So this image right here actually wasn't this. It was this right here. So it actually removed the background, automatically turns into this white background. I can obviously rotate the object if I want to, make sure it's all centered. And the really, really cool thing about this is the instant background. So that way you can create a ton of different image ads all at once. So we'll let it kind of generate automatically. Volcano hell on earth type background. I mean, that's going to get people's attention 100%. I mean, people love seeing hell on earth. Now, other things we got here, color splash. Let's take a look at this. I mean, that also looks so freaking cool. So again, we could probably customize the different colors. I mean, look, we got full color splash. I mean, the fact you can do this is ridiculous. I mean, that is so freaking captivating. And then we just got this simple pink background here with different shadows. I mean, that just looks so freaking realistic, and we can change the different colors too. This is a really cool app. I'm not gonna lie. I know I was maybe mocking you a little bit if you use this, but I use this tool all the time. God, that just looks so sexy, the all black background. I mean, this is a mandatory app if you are doing image ads for any product at all that is jewelry, clothing, home decor. I mean, let's just do one more because I'm kind of in love with this. So we got a black marble countertop. Oof, that black marble. Oh, jeez. I don't want to bust a nut on camera, but that is way too sexy for me. So now, how do we create winning video ads from scratch for any product that we want to sell? Well, when I'm selling a product, let's say for instance, it's this therapy relief belt, it's LED red light. I need to gather as many clips as possible that are high quality, that give me options for different hooks, for different problems, for different benefits. The more clips I have at my disposal, the easier it is to make engaging video ads. So obviously, Download the top performing ads because they're going to have interesting visuals and possibly hooks that you can use. And you can always splice different ads together and make new ad combinations from that. So definitely go onto TikTok, go onto YouTube, look at your suppliers videos even, and just see what are the best clips you can find, because that's going to be more important than your actual script. If your visuals are boring, people are not going to want to watch, and that does tend to be more impactful than the actual text you use for your hook. So now that you gather all your clips, the next step is you have to do your audience research, because if you don't understand why people are buying your product and the desired result they want from it, you can't actually market to them and come up with interesting video ads because you don't understand what actually appeals to them. So I would recommend obviously reading Amazon reviews, reading competitor reviews, going and looking at comments of top performing videos for your product on TikTok, on YouTube, going onto Reddit and reading forums of what people are saying. But the number one place to read exactly why people are buying your product and what they were looking for in it is always through reviews, because these people have actually bought the product and they're experiencing it. So you should read the good reviews and see what is great about your product and why they bought. And you should also read bad reviews. What are the potential objections? What don't they like about these products? So that way you can handle their objections in your ads. So if they say, well, with traditional products in this space, they usually don't last very long, then you can talk about how your product is really well made and there's a certain feature to it which makes it last for years. So that way you handle all objections. And really, when I'm doing my research, I, as you can see right here, have pages upon pages. I will go through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reviews until my eyes start bleeding to understand exactly why people are buying my product. I need to understand my target customer inside and out, because I can't come up with a good hook or a good problem and be relatable to them if I am not putting myself in their shoes. And these are usually a few of the questions I think about when I'm doing my research. So who is my main target audience? What are their pain points, desires, goals? What other alternative products already exist? What are the levels of awareness they're currently at? Do they know they have a problem? Do I need to call that out in the ad? Do they know that there's different products out there? So what kind of awareness stage? Because that also plays a part. And with most products, so for instance, with this therapy belt, it helps with back pain. So everyone who has back pain knows they have back pain, and they've most likely tried multiple things to help them out, like creams or physical therapy. So they're at the point where they are solution aware. They are very aware of the different solutions out there, and they're just trying to make the choice as to what's going to work the best for me. So maybe I want to have an ad where it compares physical therapy versus using my belt and the benefits and how it's so much better to obviously use my belt, because that's the stage of awareness. Or I can just scroll on down to the different frameworks I have. And again, this document is my gold mine. So problem, solution, before and after. Before and after would be a great one because I can visually show to people, hey, this is what I looked like before. I was struggling to walk. I couldn't even get out of bed, but now I'm incredibly happy. I feel brand new. I feel like a new person after I've used this therapy belt. So you have to choose frameworks that will engage people, that will have a story and be relatable to them. So problem, solution is usually the best possible framework you can ever use because you can be really relatable and saying, I used to struggle with back pain for years. I tried everything from pain meds to physical therapy, but nothing was really working for me. So I decided one day to go on the internet and try out this brand I saw from TikTok with this therapy belt. And oh my God, has it changed my life. I instantly have melted away years of chronic back pain. It's also helped me with my arthritis. It's also helped me with inflammation in my joints. I feel 10 years younger. So again, that's talking about the desired results. And again, that's just me on the top of my head here. And then we'd have a call to action of, hey, buy one, get one free, or save 50% off. So if you want to get benefits, so if you want to get desired results, then you need to buy this product. And obviously we'd want to try different hooks. So we started with the problem as the hook, but you can start with doing a different style hook, which is, I have never felt younger after trying out this belt. And then the next clip in your ad could be the problem of, I used to struggle with back pain for years. You can see how you can play around with these things. You don't know what's going to work the best, but you should always have frameworks in your mind and have a collection of frameworks where you can plug in the different information about your target audience, what they care about, their problems, their pain points, what are their goals, and then see what is the most interesting way I can show that information to them and make them want to buy. Now, how do we actually write the lines for our ads, the hooks, the problems, all those different things? Well, that again comes from doing the freaking research. The more research you do, the more prepared you are, the better you are going to outmarket your competition. So again, the different resources I always do. I love Amazon reviews. I love looking at these and then I'll rewrite them in a way that's more coherent and more direct responsive. So I'll take these lines and just obviously try to think of what's the overall idea. So if I'm noticing over and over and over again, these similarities that people are saying that, oh, this helps me with my arthritis or this helps me with my back pain, then of course I'm going to have to mention that in my ad because that is what people care about the most. And you might see some reviews where people will mention a one-off thing like, oh, this helped with my dog then I'm probably not going to mention that because, again, it's just not being said over and over and over again. So again, notice the similarities and then try to look at also your competitors, see what kind of ad ideas, angles, lines they've been using, and try to get inspiration from that. You can get inspiration from descriptions, from ads, from comments, from reviews, from so many different places. And I usually will take that information and then I just start writing. And that's how I come up with my product description. So I will see, okay, for instance, what is a good headline that encapsulates the biggest benefit of my product? So probably from all of this information, it's melting away years of chronic back pain. That could be a really good benefit for my ad, and it could be a great benefit for my descriptions. And honestly, a cheat code for getting this data on what are people saying over and over and over again is using the review index, where all you have to do is just paste the Amazon link of your competitors and they instantly summarize these are the main things that people actually care about. And then you can just copy over the lines that you see over and over and over again. So it can be wrapped around the knees. So maybe a lot of people are dealing with this for their knee pain or their achy joints. Or if we go to this talking point, a lot of people are mentioning how comfortable it is. So again, we probably want to mention that somewhere in my ad, that I can wrap this around my shoulder and my back felt better. It helps me alleviate my muscles after my workouts. The Velcro makes it simple to adjust and put on. Works great on pain relief. So again, all of these little lines, this is how we would want to do it. And we're just rewriting it because the more research we do, the easier it is to come up with these benefits and all these different lines and problems because we're just reading and doing the research. So don't ever come up with anything on your own. Don't make any assumptions. Don't make any stories without first reading exactly why people buy. So now let's say you've applied all that information and you have made 3 distinct ads. You made a how-to ad, a 3 reasons why ad, and a problem solution ad. Well, once you make those original videos, what I would always recommend is making variations of those videos, which basically means just changing one thing about them and seeing what performs the best. So let's say, for instance, this video right here is my how-to ad. It's about a minute long. Well, maybe the first split test I want to do is making it only 30 seconds. So I just cut it down a bit. So that way I have my original video, then the 30-second video. Then maybe another variation I do is I change out the hook, or I change out the music, or I change out the hook visual, or I can try different benefits or rearranging the clip order to see what actually is more engaging, or I could have a different hook text. You really never know what's going to perform the best. So I'd always recommend once you complete a full original video, so I have my full how-to video, then making at least 2 to 3 variations of that, because that way you have your original, the 2 to 3 variations, and that's 4 video ads right there. That is a whole test. That is a whole ad group. And then I do the same thing with my other angle. So I'll have my how-to, which is 4 videos, and then I'll have my 3 reasons why video, which is also 4 videos. It's an original with 2 to 3 variations, and then the same thing. So when I test a product, I usually just have 3 to 4 concepts, and then I have 3 to 4 ads for each concept, if that makes sense. Now, I do have a full video I'd recommend watching on how I like to actually edit my videos and get that original done and what clips I choose and all the different methodology, because that's a whole thing in itself. And if I include that in this video, this could end up being longer than the entire Titanic movie and the Bible combined, and my beard would finally complete. And I already know you're mentally checked out. You've learned so much in this video that your brain is probably exploded. You need to rewatch a lot of these points because I can guarantee it hasn't fully sit into that thick skull of yours, Mr. or ma'am. So let's get into the final points when it comes to creating winning ads. So once you've tested your initial set of ads and they have worked, you have a winning product and you have momentum, you need to also be thinking of your funnel, because your ads are the entire funnel. You will have ads that are meant for top of funnel, so people that don't know anything about your product at all. And then you're gonna have ads for people that are now aware of your product, but just haven't bought yet for whatever reason. So you should start now incorporating retargeting ads. And now, typically the best retargeting frameworks out there are us versus them. So comparing yourself versus the competition, the best, most name brand competitor out there. It could be doing a discount ad. So saying, hey, this is 10% off, 15% off, come check it out. Or doing a sale urgency that, hey, these guys are running out of inventory. They're having a sale right now. So make sure you buy if you're interested before they sell out. In fact, one of my favorite brands right now that does this is Overnight Oats. They have a great frequently asked questions ad where one of the comments that they get over and over and over again, the biggest objection as to why people don't buy is that it's too expensive.
We get this comment a lot asking why we're so expensive. People think they can make this at home for less, so we broke the math down for you. The base of most of our...
So this ad is awesome. So she basically breaks down the math and makes you feel like an idiot because they explain wholeheartedly why it makes so much more sense. It's way more affordable and convenient to go with their option. And that's such a good retargeting ad. If you know there is a certain objection people have, handle that in your own ad. You have to do the research though to get in the mind of your customer to understand though what those potential objections can be before they even have them. So Typically though, the biggest objections are going to be about price points. So that's why a lot of brands will do discount ads all the time. So having a discount code on an image ad, or they'll do a carousel of different reviews so you can see more social proof. So if you are skeptical of the product actually working. So again, have retargeting ads. A lot of the times the best ones are more social proof ads. So it might be a compilation of different people raving about your product and stitched together, or it just might be a wall of different comments of people saying all of their amazing experiences with your product. But again, always have a mix of different ads, retargeting, top of funnel, so that you can try to make people buy no matter what stage they're at. So really just to summarize, I would say if you want to make winning ads for any product you want to sell, then you have to have a structured approach where you have multiple different frameworks or angles that sell your product in unique ways, like how to, problem, solution, all those different styles, and then make variations of each video because you don't know what specific messaging for that angle is going to work the best. So if you make 12 videos, 15 videos that are all unique in that type of style, that's going to maximize and just dramatically increase the odds of you finding a winning product compared to what the average dropshipper does of just ripping 3 videos, testing that, and if it doesn't work, then yeah, it had to be the product. It wasn't me. Couldn't possibly be me. No, the product's saturated. No, these videos, I did everything I could here. And that's your competition for products that you want to sell. So if you want to beat them, volume is the name of the game, and also throwing in some other ad copies. So the final thing that we didn't really talk about is ad copies, because honestly this stuff doesn't really matter as much. Your creative is about 90 to 95% the actual video or image. But getting into some frameworks, I would say Dr. Squatch has the 3 frameworks I really like. So the first framework is doing the bullet point benefit structure, where you might have a 1-sentence benefit, and then underneath you have an emoji, so 2 to 3 emojis with some quick benefits about your product, and that's literally it. So super simple. Then you might also throw in some ad copies, which is a review. So just copying over one of your reviews saying 5-star. That's all you have to do. So as you can see, Manscaped absolutely nailed it. 1-sentence benefit, and then they have 3 little bullet points underneath. So super simple, but you'll notice what is the consistent thing that's being split tested here. They use the same ad copies all the time, but it's the videos, it's images, it's the creatives. That's where you're gonna make the biggest difference. And I would say if you're selling a clothing, jewelry, that type of product, what a lot of brands do is they just have a 1-sentence ad copy, again, about the design. So you might literally just copy over that 1 sentence you wrote in your description for it. In fact, if we go to a Fashion Nova or something like that, just to prove my point. I don't think they're going to do anything too crazy here to advance, but they're going to be split testing different images. I'm sure doing carousel versus models. I'm sure most of their images ads are definitely models, because they got a lot of baddies on their roster. I can't lie. I've DM'd quite a few of them and I am still awaiting a response. So if you're one of them, Ethan Dobbins official on Instagram. But we can see right here, yeah. So 1 sentence about the actual design. Unleash your inner temptress with our spellbinding collection. Is that Alex Earl? Well, I'm going to go beat my meat after seeing that. I don't think there's any better way to finish a video.